Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I tip at least 20%, you know?
Wow. Okay, that is a testament to Taxi's skill. Well, thank you, baby, for the short interview with me. I'll be checking in with you again if you keep delivering the dog tags. We're gonna have to keep talking to you because you are now securely in the lead.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you so much, Crumbs.
Right.
Man, why is it always Chris?
Oh, it's Ryan with the rock.
Oh, it's Ryan this time. Why is it always Chris like that? Hey, don't mind me to stick my head in the camera. It cracks me up every time.
What's going on here? We got another bit of a potential skirmish going on. XQC, I believe, in the server now. We went to him before, but apparently he was just watching videos, wasn't actually logged in yet. But I'm pretty sure he's with the squad now. So gonna see him running. Imagine that emote on the screen right now too, as he'll be teaming with H-June. He's got the L95 also. This is like the even more high-powered rifle than the Bolt. It does the same amount of damage, but it's more accurate at long range, so gonna have an easier time potentially landing some of those shots.
I'm sorry, those googly eyes on Crumbs, I can't. Well, he's having like a serious interview over there. We do seem to have Nemorits comfortably back in the kill lead now with 98 kills. 13 ahead of Coconut Bee. Coconut Bee in second place. We did see that they were neck and neck, but it seems like Nemorits has once again expanded that gap.
Way in the lead now, so Nemorith still making sure he keeps himself in pole position for that extra 2K when the event closes down right around noon tomorrow. XQC trying to land some shots, not finding him so much just yet. He's got to be a little careful here too. You can see he's getting low. There we go. There's a connection being made here. Let's try to down at least one. We got a couple stragglers running through the forest. Oh, he throws a shot out, but he gets one back just as quickly. Panpots with the AK gets the trade onto him, and he's going to roll right up. He'll take that rifle and everything that comes with it. If he can find it, of course, it should be on the ground somewhere. Not actually sure if he's going to find it.
Major kill there for Team Alexby, as they're probably planning on what their next steps are going to be. Of course, we do know that there's going to be another hackable crate that will spawn during the broadcast window. Again, we start thinking about those raidable monuments.
I think the other interesting fact that actually Crumbs kind of brought up in an interview is that some of the members of Alexby's team are starting to look like they're, straggling and whatnot on supplies. That could become a factor here over the course of today. If teams start getting like too overzealous with the team fights they're taking on and they lose a bunch of big battles in a row, that could become problematic pretty quickly here. As oh no, Blueprint's going to be hunted down inside of the forest. He goes down to Stratus. But yeah, the guys do have to watch their banks. If they farm or if they bleed out too much and lose too many guns here, they're probably not going to have much left to try and create more. They will have to be a bit careful of that as they get into these big team fights.
Speaking of bleeding, seems like Team Toast getting picked off one by one, just straggling here and there. Nothing major, but you'd have to assume that they don't want to lose these players. Like group up together for their next mounted offensive.
We hear a few of the others as well trying to group together for this push. Fetus getting caught, and you're right, man. Hey, this is looking rough for DisguisedToast team, as it seems that Alexby just has the hit squad rolling right now. They've got good position to play this from too. All this open forest surrounding them, they're going to be able to wipe out so many members of Toast team, and assuming they can get to the corpses, good amount of dog tags going to go back into their bank too by winning that battle.
And you can see how there's a sing party over here. It's going out. Moving towards Spoon Kid and Waylon in the distance. We can see over there. We're not entirely sure if they're going to run into each other, but a lot of people over here from Team Alexby. Speaking of Team Alexby, the captain himself.
Leading the charge, making sure he's with his warriors here as they head into battle. A valiant leader indeed. They'll be working their way through this. Someone connected a shot there a second ago. Alexby, but the others moving forward here. That bear just getting in the way. Not too much of a problem with that, but venture through the forest, trying to see if they can wipe out any of the remaining players, get those extra dog tags, since you'll still have the respawns from Toast team up and about too if they had sleeping bags nearby.
Bought a few of those sleeping bags over there. Spoon Kid, meanwhile.
did manage to get himself back a pistol at least, but nothing else besides that's just running with a pretty scrappy load out here. Can really only fire back, can't necessarily outright win a lot of these battles. So yeah, it's a huge retreat run here for Toast. Alexby's team has got them pretty much where they want them at this point here. So just a matter of knocking out what's left and then regrouping to follow it through. Whether that's going to mean a supply run for Alexby's team, maybe another clear of the tunnels if we have enough time that's passed since they were last down there for all those crates and whatnot to respawn. Okay, Nember's going to walk into another one. His kill count, I think it's his 100th kill right there. So big congrats to Nember that was indeed the case as he crosses the triple-digit threshold with that one.
He's just been a monster throughout this entire event. 100 kills. We're just waiting for that. There you go. There's the update. 100 kills.
Yes. Literally just beating some dude in the head with a torch.
Oh my god.
Now we should note, of course, now that the very interesting fight with Waylon has ended here, and he has like 6 rocks in his inventory now. We should mention on the kill leader format, we still have our MVP pretty close to being one of the most valuable players on the map. He's still number 3 in kills, but on top of that, he has the most nodes farmed, like mining or trees or anything like that, out of any player in the server right now. He's number 5 on animal kills, like the deer, the bear, stuff like that, and number 6 in NPC kills, such as the scientists and other types of NPCs you're going to find in places like the oil rig.
Yeah, very well-rounded player. H-June, just, you know, all around contributing to everything. Seems to have gotten a lot of things done. Not really focusing on one particular area, but just his impact can be seen everywhere.
Basically, Toast feeling real good in his choice of a kind of strategical leader for this team, the heart and soul, if you will. Well, as he was telling us yesterday when we got him in for the initial interview before the chaos started yesterday morning. So Waylon just gonna set up a few more bags for himself here. They want to kind of retain the positioning that they have. He doesn't really have any capability to fight. Just wants to make sure that if he does get picked off, he can respawn with a relatively safe distance. Just go back to what he was doing, which is more of a kind of just scouting, maybe a cloth run more than anything here. Is doesn't have a whole lot on his inventory to support him.
Probably what I'm gonna do. Where am I at?
Waylon plans his next
what he's
moves.
doing.
Yeah. I'll yoink water treats.
Seems to be heading towards water treatment as we take a look at Team Alexby's base. Now, this is something else that they have to focus on. Like, we will see both of these teams trying to reinforce their bases even more, considering...
Here's the thing with Alexby's base, right? They realized the issues of it yesterday, so after that second raid that happened around like 8 o'clock last night, almost went through, they added like 2 to 3 more floors to their base above to make it that much more difficult to try and access these, you know, this big loot room they have here when push comes to shove and we finally re-enable the damage. That's on top of like the big lift they have out there too, so they can't just ladder hop it like they were doing the past few days.
Yeah, they've learned from yesterday. You can see how well organized this base is now compared to last night. There's a lot more levels, a lot more structure to it, you know, it just seems easier to maneuver through as well.
They even have like a panic button set up in this room, which I don't know if this is their main loot room or the one above it is, but you can see all of these like little red panels, those are all code panels. These are garage doors on literally every single like access point inside of that main room down there. Now that would normally seem crazy, but if they've had the time to do it overnight, there's a possibility that someone like ran electricity into here and that all those doors are potentially activated by a single button, and they might just have that as like a panic button to basically get them to lock all that down in the event that they get raided once we get to the final 3 hours.
Speaking of bases, Blue, I want to pick your brain. If either team launched an assault on the other, which base do you think would perform better? We did see the massive wall around Team Toast base, of course, the Phallus Palace as well. We did also just take a look at Team Alexby's base, which seems to like be a lot more fortified compared to yesterday. What base do you think is going to hold out better?
Personally, with the way things are looking right now, if we just turn damage on at this very second, probably Alexby's base looks like it's slightly more prepared, especially looking at the roof side of things off oftentimes how those raids go will a lot of the times come down to like how good of a top-down angle you're able to build for yourself. It actually looks like since we started, they're trying to build it even higher as well. So might be trying to get some actual top-down peaks if they can expand that outwards horizontally once they get it to the height that they're happy with. So if they're going to be able to establish it to that point, and to some extent they've already done so with those ramps on the outer edge, then they're going to be able to fend off most of the challengers for quite some time. But Toast Team does have the kind of counterbalance to that, in that they have literally their entire island surrounded by a wall. So they're going to have like way more warning that anything is happening more than anything.
We did catch a peek of H-June over there. We just mentioned him previously, our MVP from yesterday. Using the recycler, they're trying to gather some resources, and XQC. Let's see what he's up to.
Just farming cloth. I think that's actually the emphasis right now for a lot of these guys, to try and pick up as much cloth as possible. I know we were seeing Waylon go on a similar run here, so just scrap pickups too could be helping these guys if they're trying to get some research done, build up the final bits they need. As I would imagine, since we unlocked tech here, that they would have had everything pretty much built up. But at the same time, there are a few more sought-after blueprints they may have not been able to get for themselves just yet. For instance, that like reinforced window that came off of the came off the hackable crate could actually be pretty useful. I don't know, like if we have like rules regarding certain building mechanics or whatnot, but you could actually use that as a way to block off access to certain loot rooms. That could be pretty useful, but that may not be allowed in our rule set because it's a little wonky with how that works from time to time.
Blown fraggies, please. A little bit of blown fraggies, please, man. Thank you, man. Alright, man. Big up, man. Big up.
I got like 130.
Oh, juicer.
Wait.
Trading some resources with his teammates. Gets a bone knife, I believe.
Just for you, brother.
Yeah, no shit. You're not going to Coachella. Boring ass fucking Normandy bullshit. I'm dying.
And I think XQ just potentially killed himself
with the radiation poisoning.
I think he'll be okay at 30.
He'll be fine. Yeah.
He should. Oh, I don't know. It's gonna be.
I just took an ass.
No, he should be good.
I gotta see. It's gonna be close. Okay, he'll just go back to hunting deer in the meanwhile while he slowly succumbs to whatever ailments are going to present themselves. Yeah, I think he'll make it here. That's still a little bit of a dangerous amount of poisoning going on to him, but thankfully he should have heals as well to bring himself back up to an okay point.
I do wonder if the teams are ever planning on going back to the tunnels. We did see someone call out the water treatment plant. The first half of our broadcast, we saw a lot of focus with both teams repeatedly launching assaults over there and flanking each other.
Recycle a bunch real quick.
That is like a pretty common PvP spot too. Like when players and servers want to look for duels, obviously it's just a big tunnel, so it's a pretty good place to potentially find, like, you know, duels where you don't have to necessarily watch your flanks as much, potentially tunnel vision a little bit. So good reason we might have seen them go down there to look for those types of engagements. But like I said before, there's also some kind of low to mid-tier loot sitting inside of that. So if you're just going for the full clear of it, might have been a chance we were seeing our initial players inside of there attempting to clear that out also, and that'll respawn every once in a while.
Yeah, and around this time in our broadcast yesterday, we did see a lot of focus being put onto the oil rig by Team Alexby11. We've yet to see any solid attempts towards going towards that oil rig. Well, we'll have to see if that's going to change, but so far, most of the battle being held around the central island, the first hackable crate that spawned in that northern area.
It is a pretty calm time. Once again, that raidable base, which has been upgraded since yesterday, so it's not only going to have better loot inside of it, not necessarily on the dog tag side of things, but just in the general items you will pick up inside of the base. But it's also going to be more reinforced in terms of the amount of explosives you'll need to get inside of it. But also the enemies will be more well-armed that are defending it too. So you got your work cut out for you, but for Alexby's team, it could be a very useful tool to get them back in the game. Like we talked, I think the current one spawn has about 300 to 400 dog tags in it, so they should be looking at that as a potential option to get themselves back into the game. If not, though, back over with Buddha and a few other members of the Toast team as they're just clearing out water treatment for themselves here. And Buddha's actually showing his teammates some advanced jump tactics at the moment, it looks like.
Oh, there you go.
Give me the cards.
Oh, by Kuno's turn. The conga line. And there you go. Sai Kuno made it.
This is like where the Counter-Strike players would really excel, right? Like the crouch jumping and
bunny hops,
yeah. So we'll see if we get a Shroud or Tarek or someone else on the server later to contribute to that. We had them playing pretty late last night, so you guys will probably see them once again a bit later on in the evening getting involved in the off-stream shenanigans that were going on. But at least we got XQC joining us here for the main part of the stream today.
Yo, is that an airdrop right ahead? It is, right?
6 shots and a dream.
That's called in, right?
Alright, I'll
I think all airdrops.
Just random scouting parties going around trying to get some vision advantage over here. Once again, not a whole lot of emphasis for aerial superiority this time compared to yesterday. We did see the minicopter come into play for depositing those dog tags that Team Toast won over, but beyond that, and beyond the first few little skirmishes that we saw with the minicopter versus the helicopter, we haven't really seen too much go on in the air.
Yeah, the big problem with the choppers now is that snipers are in play, and there's not any innate protection for the driver of either the scrap chopper or the mini. They're just kind of out in the open. Their head is, at least. So for any players with half decent aim here, they're going to be able to, especially if the helicopter's flying on a pretty predictable path, they're going to be able to line up the bolts or L95 shots and just knock them right out of the sky, and that will mean that the chopper goes down with it, and you're just wasting scrap at that point. So that might explain the bit more of a hesitation we have right now to try and go for like these big chopper raids when compared to yesterday. It's a bit too easy to knock them out of the sky at this point.
You know, XQC's name's like XQCOW because from Overwatch, right? The first few days where I didn't really know his legacy, I thought he was just really into cows for some reason.
You can pick it up, and if you deep
I kept reading his name as XQ Cow instead.
People have called him the cow before.
The cow.
That's exactly how it works, like Trevor said.
I don't think we'll see any challenge to this clear from Alexby's team. They are working on their own build-up, it would seem, possibly actually working on building up their base. Like I said, we did see them adding 2 new levels to the top of it, so there's a chance that that's the priority for them right now. If they feel that the monuments and whatnot have been cleared out and that there's no additional action going on the map. But a bit different for Toast team. They've taken full control of water treatment. They're going to be patrolling this for the foreseeable future here and waiting for crates and whatnot to respawn so they can pick them all up. They do have the option to head back down, of course, into the subway too if they want to make another run for that.
Yeah, and I'm not sure who that was on comms right now, but I think I did catch a little bit of communication over there where people were saying how the raids are the most important when the crates spawn. So seems like that's the focus as we take a look at Team Cats and DisguisedToast over here.
We're already split in equal groups because
turning back to base, we've got a very healthy crop system going on here in the middle of it. They've got a little green moat in the middle of their base where no one's built anything because of the setup they have for themselves here. So we're going to see quite a few plants deployed. And this is on top of actually that might be Alexby's base. I was trying to remember if Toast Base had built like an actual irrigation system just yet, but might have not happened as of yet. That might still be Alexby's team with the kind of dedicated farming room.
Right, yeah. I do believe that was Team Alexby actually, and yeah, they seem to have put a lot of emphasis on that farming, which is actually a really, really important tool when it comes to, you know, some of those base defenses if you're holed up in there.
Not only that, but just for the late game items, right? Because in order to get access to the rockets, you're getting explosives. In order to get access to explosives, you're going to need gunpowder, you're going to need low-grade fuel, you're going to need sulfur and fragments as well. You need a lot of mats. So being able to grow essentially infinite cloth inside of your base certainly help with that, at least a little bit. Still going to have to, of course, look for enough animal fat or other means to be able to build up the low-grade fuel that you're going to need, though, because even for just to give you an idea, for one rocket, right? You need 500 gunpowder, which is 1,500 charcoal and 1,000 sulfur. You need 30 fuel, 100 sulfur, and 100 metal frag. That's for a single rocket.
No, it's a lot of shooting though, and he's not in no times either.
It's just like this.
So a decent amount you're going to need just to be able to get one of those, and you're realistically going to need like 50 or more to get access to either team's bases at this point with how heavily built up they're going to be by the time we hit tomorrow.
The taxi and Mendo on top of the dome over here. Looting some of those crates.
Yep, nice and easy when you have the chopper. You can just swoop in, grab those military crates. They're probably not too worried about the standard crates that are sitting down below the lower floors, so they're just going to bypass that, pick them up, and run over back to their base to drop all this off. Actually, I think they might be making a run over here to the sand island. I think we have a quarry on it, potentially, so could be going in to clear this one out.
The tin can.
Oh, yeah.
Best armor, but very immobile. Great for pilots.
Almost like he's out of Dark Souls. Just
yeah.
Just going for like a double shield build or something.
Getting ready to slay a boss or something.
When I was watching XQC's stream last night, he got a double headshot with his pistol at range on a guy in the base and was so confused as to why I didn't kill him. And it was because the guy was wearing a tin can.
I don't think Mendo just grabbed a fuse.
I said it.
Or never mind, he says he doesn't have one.
Maybe there's one.
Yeah, there is. We are at a monument right now, so they are going to try and access the room they need to. But in order to access the keycard rooms, you do need to power the facility up, which requires one of the fuses. So you have to run over, throw a fuse in the box. There could be like 1 or 2 of them. Oh man, the KZ.
He's fine. He's fine. Look at him go.
He's got no problem.
Look at him go
He's well rehearsed on this jump.
Well,
There was a ladder to get up there too.
While Mendo loots the top of this area, let's go check in with Crumbs, who's standing by with Natsumi.
Any meds with him?
Pepe, good credit.
Natsumi looks a little different.
Really good poses on top of horses. Hey guys, I'm here with Natsumi, who is in charge of a lot of the backbone behind Team DisguisedToast. You told me you've been cooking, you've been making bullets, you've been fueling the war effort. What's that been like?
Yep. It's been crazy, you know, it's like being a mom at home and then all the kids come back and then they just drop everything. So I start organizing, you know, I gotta feed them with gunpowder and ammo and explosives, and I gotta patch them up with syringes. We got furnaces cooking 24/7, you know, our ABCs, they gotta be done. It's kind of crazy out here, it's crazy.
Are you the only one doing this task of feeding the whole family?
No,
or is there someone else helping?
No. We have help around here. You know, we have Miss Do Big, we have Trisha, we have Rennie, we have Chris helping, Scara's helping right now. We got, you know, we got some allies helping out here and there, doing different tasks.
Wait, so you haven't been to the front lines, you just stay back and you do the preparations and then they go fight. So you've divided the team. What are the different members of the Team DisguisedToast then?
Oh, I mean, I think there's just a few of us here doing all the backbone work, and then there's just a whole lot of, you know, the boys. They're out there, they're fighting. And sometimes
Do you have any plans for fighting? Oh, you can?
I plan on running out like a suicide bomber in the last couple hours. You know, when I'm done organizing and providing, I'm gonna just run out like a crazy person.
Okay. Well, maybe they'll come to you though. And
yeah, actually true. You know, maybe I'll be defending home base after all.
okay. Well, good luck whether you defend the home base and keep the kids safe, or you're out there doing your kamikaze mission. Thank you for the interview, Natsumi.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, Wade.
Then we can do that. I think if you
Hearing some of how the back end works there for Team DisguisedToast. Up here on the front lines, though.
You want me to go gamble?
I mean, is XQC playing Rust or is he playing Tarkov? Who even knows?
He might be in a mill tunnels clear right now here as he tries to work his way through this and grab the loot once again. A little bit of a different setup inside of here, so going to be a decent amount of NPCs patrolling this area, if that is indeed the case, as he tries to clear this out and get access to the crates that will be present down here. I think like he's actually finished that off for the most part. The thing's continuing to be mainly a PvE game at this point in the server here, as indeed I believe he is in those tunnels. I can now confirm that as we get him fighting out one of the scientists here.
Anthony gets down over here. But that is a good point that Crumbs brought up in his interview with Natsumi, how Team Alexby, even though they are behind, or whatever team that is behind tomorrow, will have a chance to completely turn things around with a raid onto our enemy base.
How strong are these guys, bro?
There is going to be that opportunity to try and steal away the opponent's dog tags when they can go in and raid the base. So neither team is down for the count just yet. Not until we get to our raid segment tomorrow will we have a true idea of who is in charge of the situation and who is truly going to be our winner when we hit right around 12:20 Pacific on day number 2 on Sunday.
If you have TC off, right? So.
All right, what's the play?
Guys, I just got 2 AK-1LR from the boxes inside of Milton's.
That's what I'm fucking talking about.
I'm here. I'm a little nervous. No offense.
Nice, good loot going XQC's way, calling it out there. More guns. And keep in mind that a lot of the high-end guns that are going to be available, or that you'll even see some of these players using, that'll be like the LR300, for example, the M249 Saw, the higher-tiered sniper rifle, the MP5 as well. I believe the MP5, yeah, are not going to be craftable under these circumstances, so you will not be able to get those from anywhere else except these crates. Those are like the higher-end version of those guns that definitely will be useful in the final battle. You got to be careful when you bring them out, because if you lose them once, you can't get them back so easily. You do have to go on a monument run or two in order to reattain that.
As we're having a look at Sneaky over here with 6 kills and a respectable 217 dog tags cashed in.
Okay.
Mini farm is dog shit.
Doing quite well.
No, have you seen Pico mini farming?
They actually can craft the MP5. Sorry, I just had to confirm that for myself there. I usually end up stuck in like low tier Rust because I play solo. Sometimes I don't make it there on a weekly wipe, so my bad.
Yeah, we would just fly around the map.
No, it's better to do it with horse and bags.
Once again, just big loot, and we got Sneaky here as well. We didn't really catch up with him too much. Haven't seen him on the server much at all, except for maybe last night when I stopped paying attention to things. Sneaky, obviously a very famous League of Legends player, for those who aren't aware, and finally we got him in the server here, helping out Toast team as well.
Love seeing Sneaky there. We saw XQC just glowing about the loot he got. Let's take a replay at what he picked up.
Oh wow, holy shit, okay. Oh my god! Guys, I just got tweaked with an LR from the box.
There's an LR.
That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Wow.
Nice.
Well, good amount of loot there. Good amount that can get jumped right in the bank there, saving a good amount of assets as well for potentially later crafting here. As I'll regroup with the rest of his team here and try to distribute the spoils for anyone who might need them. There's a good chance these guys are running around nearly naked, so maybe they can give him a few of these AKs.
Yeah, nicely done. That's going to be invaluable later on. Definitely want to grab as many of these resources as possible right now. Well, there's a lull in the action. Not a whole lot of PvP going on.
Guys, I think I'm gonna invest into this event.
Can kind of farm these NPCs to an extent that we talked about before. These have a 33% chance to drop the dog tags, so it's not going to be as efficient as finding players, but if there's a lull in the server, like right now, where neither team is too keen on fighting each other, you do have that option to trickle together a few dog tags piece by piece at a time. And once again, there is the possibility for them to sneak into the access room here, but also might have already pulled that off, because keep in mind, XQC already got a good amount of loot, so there is the possibility that maybe he was already able to sneak in there for himself.
A little bit of ping pong action there as we take a look at team captain Alexby11 over here. Now, Blue, if you were in Alexby's position, what would be your next real main target? You're down by like around 500 dog tags. Surely that's not like, it's not a huge lead, especially at this point in the game. And you have been picking out a few of the stragglers here and there from Team Toast. What would your real direction be?
You probably heard it from me a few times. I'd go for that base, man. No one's going for that thing still. Way up on the side. It's got like 3 to 400 as we have this nice interaction with Alexby and one of his teammates. That thing's got like 3 to 400 tags in it. That'll bring him right back into the game. I just don't know if they don't want to waste the rockets or C4 or there's something else. But yeah, Alexby's team not choosing to go for that. That would be my first move for sure.
Yeah, probably around close to 400 now, especially with the recent dog tag deposits, right? Like 5% of nearly, what, 8K now, or 7.5? 390,
yeah, almost 400 sitting in there right now.
That would basically make up the difference.
Yep, just waiting for someone to come claim it. So they just need enough rockets or C4 to be able to get themselves in there. Shouldn't be too much of a task. Like, pretty sure their base has been unraided or untouched for like the last 12 to 13 hours. So there should certainly be enough materials to build up a little bit of an arsenal of rockets to make an attempt for that. But maybe they just don't have enough, or maybe they're thinking it's not worth it. Maybe they want to play for the crate.
And this would be the best moment. There's not a whole lot of PvP action going on right now. You can firmly direct all your attention towards some of those PvE moments.
That's what both teams are doing. It's looking like Alexby's team prioritizing the airfield clear right now. That's going to be our second highest tier monument that we do have available, coming pretty close to the launch site, just the northeast of it there. Launch site, of course, is where the APC spawns as well, so you do have to be careful if you're trying to roam around there and clear it out. Inside the buildings, you'll be safe, of course, but roaming around the streets of what is, I believe, the largest monument in the game will be a little bit difficult to work your way through the entirety of it without tripping the aggro of that tank there, which could very easily take you down, even with an endgame kit that I'm sure a lot of our players are going to have.
Yeah, and once again, we did see Team Toast taking out Bad Bradley with their satchel charges from last night. So surely they're going to have a better time if they want to go attempt that right now, or at some point in the future.
Sounds like once again, just all base or rather monument raids right now here for both teams, just trying to stack back up. And again, there is good valid reason why we would see both teams do this here. Lots of materials being lost over the first 2 hours or so of our stream coverage of the day. Here, of course, is when I think we have most of the players on, when we're seeing most of the deaths occur too. So because of that, we are seeing players have to like kind of downgrade. Maybe they don't have enough to craft guns and whatnot anymore. So that could explain why we are seeing a lot of monument raiding right now to try and gather all that. We're back with Taxi here. Moxie, once again, managing the assets of DisguisedToast team over here in the base. And we've got a few others that have actually gone back down to the tunnels too. So maybe some PvP could have come out after all if we managed to get a few members of Alexby's team catching this.
Yeah, I have an inkling that Team Alexby might just be waiting for the next crate drop. They did see how many attacks they got from that previous drop, and the thought process might be that if they go for the raidable monument now or any other major objective, they might not make that crate spawn in time. So I'm surely the last 2 or 3 crates that we've seen, Team Toast has managed to get there first. They've managed to like gain positional advantage. So that might be what we're waiting for from Team Alexby, as we see that they surpassed the 3,700 threshold of dog tags.
Slowly inching their way back up. Still a ways to go here, especially considering if they're just going to try to do it through normal kills, picking up singular dog tag after singular dog tag to try and bring it back that way. That'll be the slow method to try and do so, but as we have seen, members of Alexby's team have shown quite a bit of prowess inside of these bigger team fights. That could still work out well for them. Sneaky, thinking maybe he doesn't want to head up these stairs fully just yet, and maybe he wants to take the elevator too. So let's see how he regroups or pulls off some action a bit later, and we'll check in with some more players here, as it's Buddha as well, still on his team's island here. Patrolling the river, going to see what is happening on the back end of things.
How many bears around this island?
It's a lot. They're really annoying.
Yeah.
You gotta just run from them until you're like 3 hours into every server usually.
Bears are basically like the most annoying animals in like any game. They're so overpowered.
They are the most lethal in this game for sure, yeah. They're the one that you don't want to mess around with.
They're like so fast as well. Like I don't know, like you're in a car and there's suddenly like a bear chasing you.
I think the scary thing is that's somewhat realistic to how they are in real life too. Yeah. They can move from my understanding, but either way, back on topic here. Seeing a quick loot. Buddha find a lucky grab here inside of the gas station. A free green key card to him, so that allows teammates to continue raiding. Oops, Kuno sneaking up on him, nearly surprising him there, but thankfully I believe they were with each other, so not too surprising. And this is a pretty quick loot here, so they'll just find a few more normal crates to empty out, and they'll carry onward.
Not even good loot, if I'm honest. Here, come with me. I know a place. Surely we'll find somebody.
As we see Buddha.
All right, man. Action's been pretty crazy. But it's been a lull. We've reached a lull here for right now. If you're looking to get some snacks or something like that, if you've been on the edge of your seat watching Twitch Rivals, this is the right moment to go get your Dunkin' Donuts. So we're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, the action continues. We're in to the final day of our Rust event.